scoped assault rifle and a epic tactical shotgun, but Storm Surge is coming to play in Dr. Luke, but we haven't really touched on that yet today. Inform the viewers at home as to exactly what this is.
So Storm Surge is a mechanic to prevent players from potentially sitting and not engaging in fights. If there are a certain number of players, when there's over 70 when the circle closes, people are going to start to take 25 damage every. Still outside of the next safe zone. You're going to see a lot of players pushing to Loot Lake. You have to realize, if you're watching at home, if you're here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, competitive Fortnite is very much about late game strategy and positioning. 74 players right now remaining does not surprise us in the slightest, to be honest, especially with how much money is on the line. Harrians goes down. Start picking up that one, but not enough damage dealt. You see the Storm Surge. 2 more players need to get eliminated.
I think he just got up now as players began to drop. So Wakey went down to the Storm. Nice elimination onto Astonish. 1 player away from the end of Storm Surge, and there it is as we just hit the threshold. So now no more panic has to come for these players for the moment. The next one will come into play in a couple more zones. As we start right now, the double qualified player from France currently set up against Envy's Buggy, his name.
See exactly where things are. Just want to hold these edits and look out. No reason to apply too much pressure just yet. Just kind of wait for the players around and rotating away, and that's exactly the play. Buggy, by the way, qualifiers. He actually spent some time talking to Hogman a lot to refine his game plan. He's seen a big improvement since then. Big shout out to Hogman. Helped Bucky out with that one. All the way here, the World Cup.
Will he use one of the campfires in the in-between? 5 extra health.
It depends on the
yeah.
It depends on the play. If he's looking towards late game, that final zone starts to close. We'll have to see. A quick reminder, by the way, on the right side of your screen, a Victory Royale. The win is worth 10 placement points. Those are big. Top 5 is 7 points. Top 15 is 5. Top 25 is 3 points in every single game. There's an additional point. There we go. The focus of the current map right now. A lot of players out here on the hill. Northeast side of Neo Tilted. Actually a pretty good spot. Multiple slips nearby. While those are still on, you have to remember those do turn off. Sky shots. I believe that's on DRG just to the south. Actually, it's challenged. surprises me. Doesn't go for the build there to protect and get a better spot.
Wow, that's solid damage, though.
Just go for it.
Solid damage, and look what's also on the ground right there. The legendary infantry rifle. Still can buff that when needed. Right now, choosing to go with the spray weapon player that's close. We have a replay coming on in soon of Mega from FaZe, who played yesterday in the duos competition with Dubs. Dubs already dropped the game. We'll see how Mega plays this one. Get to the opponent's box, 2 clean shots. And there it comes through, and near max materials, Slurp Juice as well as Chug Splashes will be sitting pretty with the inventory right there. The next zone did just pop on up, moving to kind of the eastern side of the current zone. And what we're seeing right now from Skite is Skite recognizes he's got extra materials back. So he's going to run back, build out a little bit, grab the excess materials, and continue to tunnel with these nets. He's also juggling items over as well to still have the ability to use these whenever he would like to wish to. In these next zones, everyone back, rocket being fired on the far side. Bizzle there still on your screen. Commandment, Epic Whale. Prisionero still boxed up in metal just outside the zone, and Stompy, who was one of the more dominant European players in the online qualifier, still in the middle. Zane was in the lead with Saf yesterday, 5 of the 6 games, but in the end, not able to close it out. You see, just continuing to spray, is above the damage threshold. This next threshold of players, Dr. Lupo, 50. So, we're about a minute away before it activates. Bizzle with elimination, though, down on the Stacey.
At this point, too, you have a lot of players. Crunch is going to start to happen. Player count starting to dwindle. The loadout here in Zayd's inventory, a single Shadow Bomb going to be used for rotation if he has to. Not quite yet, though. He's already in the next safe zone. That heavy sniper rifle we just saw moments ago, and he'll probably go for it again. He's going to knock out a wall and immediately swap to that legendary AR to try and take shots while the wall is gone, while the player may not be paying attention. This could be a big one right here. Immediate swap, a 69 shield pack, similar crit through the wall. They do box up, but it looks like at that moment he saw the boxes being pressured from another player and decided to go for it.
Keep in mind,
here we go.
Keep in mind, no healing for Zayd, so you can see just how cautiously he's taking these fights.
Oh, yeah.
Also today in solos, there's no longer the threat, Dr. Lupo, of the double heavy sniper. Sure, we've seen solo players try to use it to their advantage by themselves, but it just is not the same effect. Lolboom, bottom right of your screen, Zayd, top left of your screen, both with 2 eliminations so far, and here comes Storm Surge for players pushing on in. Not a threat for Lolboom as he's 409 above, but Karhu did just go down to that Storm Surge, so an unfortunate game number 1 there, and some free shockwave grenades to pick up. Dr. Lupo will be extremely useful in these rotating zones, and oh man, Lolboom is eating the Stink Bomb. 50 damage, Dr. Lupo. Terrible, terrible spot to be in for Lolboom.
Lolboom solo. Push on through. Rotation does have the 2 launch pads, does have the redeploy, but those are going to leave you exposed up in the air. Little look back, King. Rotation here, the feed starting to light up. 38 players.
Oh, yeah.
And that count is going to go down, down, down. Zayd eliminated by Left Eye. Colorful taking up another one out as well. 4 eliminations. You have to remember, placement points don't kick in until top 25, so he only has those 4. Those are very, very big points. go. The Storm starting to press.
Tío, no, pillo. Jope. Hello, man. Jope, tío, pillo.
Right through
That could have been bad, Dr. Lupo.
What?
That could have been bad.
play from either player. We'll have to see here. Then you can another elimination. Top 35 now. Jacks, we're coming 30 seconds away from the next circle.
And Mr. Savage trying to contest Rux for height as they both continue to build on up. Mr. Savage goes for the shot. Rux gives it up for the moment. So game one right now, the height goes to Mr. Savage. Last week, Letter Boys week, Tuesday week as well. Mr. Savage has shot down Rux for the moment. He still continues to keep height. Yarkos, though, looking to challenge right now. 27 players left. Points about to come into play.
Yarkos takes the ultimate high in the backside there. Riverside from Team Liquid flying across right to left of your screen. Players, ultimate low ground warriors down there, both in and out of ballers. Class looks like he might be campfire in the middle of it. Mr. Savage.
King at 7 limbs, and it's made it into placements. King absolutely the #1 performance so far in game one. 120 in total HP. Can he find his limb? No! As the crowd erupts. Top 20 now, though, but King got the job done. There was 27 players left, Dr. Lupo. King eliminates the last 2 to make it a top 25 for the placement points.
Huge plays there. Going down the feed. What a shot and a quick edit swap there. Bugha showing why he's one of the most active.
Top 15.
Top 15. The most important things to watch if you're looking for players' names. Here he's going to have to wait and bait players up. Now, here it is. The shot for Rookie. Still got 2 more in his hand. The game is huge. He does have 3 shockwave grenades as well. Height needs to be taken. Long rotation. 4 eliminations. Everyone in here getting those placement points from above. No builds. Going to be tough there. Psalm picking up that Elam. Bugha, though, 5 right now. Moving forward.
Shockwave grenades too. The #1 thing we've seen in competitive Fortnite this weekend. When do you use the shockwave to go for height? It's Psalm currently on height. Bugha sees that. He can look for exactly where the player is. I think it's time, Dr. Lupo. Shadow Bomb will be used. Okay, so not quite doing it yet.
Looking for a high ground.
Yeah, I was looking to see.
He's saving those. Guaranteed for too long. Player like this is going to make plays sitting at the edge of the storm. Box up. He's going for edit shots. Big hit. My gosh. The outside. Bugha.
One player to shockwave the height. It's still Psalm up top.
Same floor is one up top. 21 on the bottom. Stuck in the box. Big hits. Back-to-back shots. Bugha picking up another elimination. Bugha is staying now. Almost going to be his game to win. We'll see here another one. Can he find the 9th elimination in the first victory royale? The World Cup solos.
Dr. Lupo, it might be time. It might be time soon. Bugha smiling. He's got the health advantage on Creo.
Does.
Folks, it might be time for the shockwave play. Bugha can soar up into the sky. Go for it. Here it is. Shockwave died. Shots coming in. No elimination yet for the first game victory royale.
Oh my God. Confident play from Bugha. What a monster. The first victory royale.
The crowd on their feet. Bugha, calm, cool, and collected, wipes out 5 of the last top 6 players for the victory royale. What a swing of points right there, Dr. Lupo. You get the win. You get max placement points. 9 limbs too. Folks, that is a statement. Game #1 for Bugha. And here it is again. The shockwave up. Creo tried to prepare. You see the damage coming out through, but at that point, with that much of a health advantage, Creo stands no shot. What a brilliant ending. Talk about a great late game solo. Absolutely living up to the hype of the duo competition yesterday.
Imagine being the World Cup finalist, and instead of opting for a second shots, you throw a shockwave down, you send it into the night, take over and get the victory.
Game 1 victory right there. Instead, Bugha winds up pushing forward, looking for where his next victim could be, and then pops out of the shadow and eliminates the player. It happened 3 times right there, and it was big reasons why he was able to push on through. Bugha, an incredible performance. What is that, 19 points in game number 1?
Game number 1.
I don't see how anyone's above that.
At this point, I mean, we're going to take a look exactly to see where
like I predicted it.
That falls on the leaderboards. No surprise here, a 9-point lead out of game 1. Kings 7 eliminations, we saw that earlier. Sadly goes down a little bit before those top couple placements. Psalm, Rux, Yarkos, ton of top tier players across the board right now. But a 9-point lead after game 1 is absolutely incredible.
And you look at the leaderboard right now, a big talk of yesterday, EU versus NA. EU, why so quiet earlier in the day? NA, why so quiet at the end of the day? 8 of the 10 top players after game 1, all from the US. Here's your 11th through 20th place right now. You know, Benji Fishy on there, Evil Mare on there as well. But a fantastic start to today, and I'm loving the energy from this crowd at the first ever Fortnite World Cup. They saw how good the competition was yesterday, and I know everyone was so excited to get out today. Millions watching online. They saw Bugha take game number 1. He's down on the floor with Jordan Fisher.
Bugha! Huge first game player. That's what you want to see. You want a health advantage at the end. 9
Bring your aggression, what you do in the qualifiers, and take it to this stage, and you don't have nerves. If you're like Bugha and say, I'm going to go. If you're like King and say, you want to edit, I'll shoot first. I'll take the 50 health on Elim there,
Justin?
and I will take the point in staying in the match. You can wait and watch me dominate. Let's get into match 2, because that first match was insane. Courage to do both. Take it away, guys.
Sundown thank you so much. Appreciate the quick analysis of everything that happened in the middle of that game. A lot of action here at the Fortnite World Cup solo competition. This is the last day for the entire event as well. I hope everyone's enjoyed Marshmello's concert. We have tons of people here in the crowd. Yeah. Absolutely. It's so fun.
My Italian family was out there, 25 people deep. They've got a full deli layout. Unfortunately, my Aunt Lorraine down in Florida, I know you're watching. Shout out, we love you, miss you. But they're all here for their first event, too. It is incredible energy in here. And, you know, guys in the venue, do you guys want to see another Fortnite World Cup next year? Should we do this again?
I'm thinking, yeah, Jeff.
All right, budget's approved. Epic is happening. But, folks, let's get back into the action. Game number 2 about to begin. Bugha, the superstar, being one to talk on all social media with the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What a play. The lobby is ready. The players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the venue, are you ready? Game 2 of the solos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals starts right now.
After last game, I have a feeling you're going to see maybe potentially more contested drops and players vying for those points, seeing exactly what can be done now. Bugha bringing home the game. I think the next 2 closest were 7-4, and then everybody was below that. The Arcos, I think, having 4, King with 7. Going into game 2, yep. Knowing that we still have 5 remaining, knowing that based on the leaderboards from yesterday, that 17 points at one point separated first and last. And by the way, a quick note, we can see the mini-map, but I think Tfue, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure Tfue has the block all by himself. Again, Clipnote didn't want to challenge it this time.
No one nearby at all, and also on that map, look at the 2 llamas. Right outside a racetrack, it looks like one player's about to go claim him. Also, Bizzle, who basically lands in Dusty Divot uncontested, I believe already got a llama in this one. So some great movement will be up there for them. Here again, the stats for last match. First place, the Victory Royale, 19 total points because of those 9 limbs. Sitting pretty, 5 games away from $3 million.
I have to say, I feel like after one game, seeing an average placement stat of first, that's something I would screenshot just to hold on to. Yeah,
best player in the world.
I averaged first through all the games that have been played.
Here is Aqua versus Twins. Aqua, can't stress it enough, Fortnite World Champion from yesterday in duos. Also with a common SMG is Twins, and Up being missed left and right from Aqua. And I'm going to tell you right now, Aqua's going to be upset with himself on that one, Dr. Lupo. That was a sloppy fight from both sides. I'm going to say it right now. Those early game fights can be very, very awkward, but we also have the first elimination we saw earlier. And it was Bizzle with the common pistol and then says, here's your reward. A llama that was looking at a nice view from the top of Dusty Divot.
Novak's out of his mind. By the way, a quick note here. Twins had 46 elims in his qualifying matches. That's so many eliminations to get to this point. Yeah. Over 10 games, that's huge.
And most players didn't get to play the full 10, so you got to play Twins did pop off in this region, but it was going up
right there. Yep. 2 shadow bombs, sitting on minis and a solid early game loadout. Pick up maybe one more movement, depending on whether or not he wants to keep the flintlock in his inventory. We'll have to see. Slurp at some point. MQ and Mr. Savage not far from each other. Takamura and Clarity G also in Happy Hamlet. My least favorite drop, I'm going to be honest with you, but a lot of these players know exactly where the chests are. They know exactly how to get there as fast as they can. And there are so many materials down here. This also is one of the highest chest spawn counts in the entire game. This is realize insane.
Yep. Possible chests or something along those lines, but as Joku says, you know what, let me roll away right now. Give that to Mr. Savage. Over to Snobby Shores and Hornet. Putting the spray down with that heavy assault rifle. Only 19 AR shots left, Dr. Lupo, so we'll have to use them wisely here. 8 players have dropped so far in the zone. The southwestern side zone on this one, so already some good variation between the zones in Game 1 and Game 2. Hornet will continue to move slowly but surely over to this. Players still outside the zone as you expect, but then they can rotate up. That's the first one.
Force engagement there. The tree disappears, and that drum shotgun spewing shells out. Going to push inside the box. Mark the wall if the trap was placed. No luck there. Doesn't have one. Knicks still trying to apply as much as possible. Get you through too many rounds. Drum shotgun. So much damage. Second, and he does. Watching that corner. Hornet still on the defensive. Long range. Drum shotgun isn't enough, but up close. The thing very, very deadly. Knicks picking up first elimination for him in this game.
Also with the emote after the eliminations. That's 2 so far. I mean, I love this.
You'll love it.
I get like 1 elimination for every 3 games. So every time I have the option to vote on an opponent, it's fantastic.
A very important note there. Knicks had the most eliminations in the online opens at 61. And Knicks from Brazil. We often saw very aggressive gameplay from those players during their qualifying matches.
All they would do was kind of just stomp through their lobbies. We always talked about how insane it was. Here's the inventory for Tfue right now. 4 minis, 3 big shields.
Good lord.
4 shadow. Kind of greedy from Tfue. He has a ton of materials. I think he didn't expect his opponent to challenge and go for a shot, but because he tries to save a couple walls of wood, he has to pop one of those big shields, and Kluja says, you know what? I'm out of here, and the zone's already there, so Tfue has a long trek ahead of him. Might have to decide if he's going to use a launch pad here. Probably not, as he does have the slipstreams down below, but still will take some damage. There is
a quick spawn up at the bird. He can take the zip across, jump off midway through, and go down and grab it. We'll see.
Bugha eliminated to start off this game in 90th place. So our game 1 winner out early on, which means that 9-point lead will surely be cut down as this one goes on. Quick thing I want to remind everyone of, yesterday we were nearing the #1 trend in the world on Twitter. I'm going to challenge all of you right now. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup across everywhere. Send in how you're watching today. Let me know who you think's going to win. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup everywhere from the millions of you all tuning on in. Can't stress that enough. Let everyone know that largest event, one of the largest events of all time, concludes today with a $30 million prize pot in total throughout the weekend.
Kinsar holding and editing, stuck a little stick. Kids can so the shot. Can't quite find it. Player backs out of that. Not fast enough.
Mr. Savage goes down to Mega.
He's eliminated.
because they have a long, long run ahead. Look at that.
All
A
the
third
way
of the zone
outside.
off the map.
Not only are you forced all the way to the bottom of the map, you've got nothing on the south end of the safe zone. Players going to get compressed together. I would expect going into circle 3 or 4, you're going to see a very low player count in comparison to last game. We're already down to 75. And Storm Surge now getting ready to kick in. You have 5 players that need to go down before damage starts to go out to those that have not dealt enough of it. Yep. Multiplayers, Bunker, Hamlet. Not a whole lot of real estate left. Shots going out there. You heard that minigun, one of the very, very, very good weapon for applying pressure to structures, especially when you see other players are taking shots at the same target. Let it fight the top left of your screen there. Replay between Niddle inside the box. Not above and headed down. White finds the first shot. Follows through with a second, third, fourth, and the elimination.
Had 1 health left. If you looked after the 50 health was earned, he was stuck at 50, meaning he was under 1 HP. He had effectively 0.9% health and goes down right there. His opponent can't win the fight as he's rewarded. Nakamura on your screen, 179 total HP, and that's a tough battle you have here, Dr. Lupo. Do you use your last healing item in the big shield for only 21, or do you hope maybe 179 health is enough for the next fight? It's a double-edged sword, a tough decision to make. Storm Surge still active. 4 more players need to go down before it ends.
Trying to get the wall there, can't quite find it. Quick edit up and out. Rotation away. Waiting. This is just an opportunity. He's basically trying to bait to see if the player inside is going to head out. Shockwave. Lecce hits the tree. It might cost him. Pressure being applied now. The 1v1 not over quite yet. Combat shotgun from above right here will be very effective. The spread from a top-down position like this is like a guaranteed crit. Here we go. Shot from behind, can't quite make contact yet.
Zone now hitting for 2 as well.
Player's gonna have to go for it very soon. Here we go. Shot push away. Storm Surge is way above home advantage. It's gonna be key to survival. We'll see. I guess the swap in position. But she took the high ground temporarily here.
They're at a point now where they basically just one of them needs to get in the fight. One of them needs to win this fight if they want to survive for the 50 extra health. Lecce slowly taking this damage. 2 ticks every second, and it's going quick. Dr. Lupo now down to just 12 HP. This could be done here momentarily. A shot, no!
Yes.
Moffin wins it with the quick shotgun to the dome, and you see, using 4 bandages, the 50 health puts him back up to 100. It should be enough to move on in. Storm Surge now over as well, and the next zone just popped up, and it's even more southwest. Tfue still alive in this game. So far, 0 eliminations, still though with this magnificent inventory for the late game.
I just want to say that the bait outside in the storm, forcing your opponent to take damage, knowing that they're not healing through their own HP, basically a way of weakening them, and then you choose the time to engage, means you don't even have to be as active as before. That shotgun, Tfue take a couple shots, and that player on rotation with the Shadow Bomb, a little more difficult to see them since they're basically invisible. They are a shadow.
Yeah.
They move. Oh, is that why they call it a Shadow Bomb?
Not entirely sure yet, as I'm still figuring that out. Keeping it safe in the next zone. Try to use whatever places down right here.
Does put down that launch pad. Here we go. Thought for a second he might go for the right. Chooses not to. Flying past multiple players in
Shadow Bomb
move. And here we go. Shots from the backside. Pressure being applied on Tfue, and he's going to have to box up for just a second. There it is. Shadow Bomb and door edit. He'll make a move on the outside. He is in the shadow form still, and you can keep this by jumping against the wall.
That was not a good Shadow Bomb, I can tell you right now.
Gotta be disappointed there. Big hit from above, down to 55 HP. Tfue, the edit from the outside, and he is eliminated by King.
And look who it is again. King, the player with 7 eliminations in game number 1, keeps the aggression going. In game 2, the heavy sniper that immediately destroys that wall and is rewarded with incredible loot, almost max builds as well. Tfue, a very quiet start to today's World Cup competition.
Here's that elimination on Tfue. Shot from above. A little bit of shield damage, but big outside. The heavy sniper take that wall almost instantly. Very intelligent play there. again, more impressive players we've seen thus far.
Working out up to this
Oh
point.
my gosh, this is back down at Hammond, right at the edge. So many players in the east side of the safe zone, and this is a far southwest. Remember, a third of it is in the water right now. Nobody's on the island, the outside. We're going to see where this goes next. There it is, focused just to the west. That submarine atop the ice mountain right there.
But look at how many players are standing to the right side of that zone. So if you're currently in this next zone, on that fourth or east side, you can put a ton of damage downrange as everyone has to move right at you. You see Karu does go down to Diego GB in your elimination feed. Drop coming on through. Crew boxed up, Creo boxed up, Rux under 100 health. Has to play this one safely, but they are so far on the east side of the zone. The storm is going to move quite quick, Ben. They've got to be ready for it. There's already the first shockwave used. Rux trying to shoot them from behind. Not able to get elimination there. Class so far away. Will use that launch pad to move towards this.
You have to think at this point with both placement and eliminations before too long here. King maybe taking an opportunity to push into the first place position on the leaderboards, especially with Bugha going down so early in this game, 90th place.
I love this outfit from Rux right now.
He's a dinosaur.
Rux is, no, I'm talking about his real life outfit.
He's a dinosaur.
He's set up to play in the Fortnite World Cup at 1, and then he's got a dinner date at 7:30. So good for him.
Listen, class is everything, Jack.
I mean, the guy looks great. I'm going to give a shout out for that. Best dressed, 2 extra points. Fortnite World Cup champion right there, Rux. But
only a 6 damage tag from the side there. Didn't have to panic too much. That I would panic a little more about.
When you have no movement, in that part of the zone, it's literally exactly what I just spoke about. King on your screen, but also someone we haven't spoken a lot about, Reverse 2K. Duo with Ninja, unable to qualify together for this competition, but did make it into solos, and now seeing what he can do by himself. Was on the farm side of this zone, so also not a fun spot by any means.
Quick note, King currently has the highest damage in the match, 574, meaning, like I said, that aggressive gameplay. Still in it, still trying to win, still trying to get the beat on players, and a quick beam on Aspect up the ramp, caught off guard by an edit play. A shot through the wall, gets the follow through with the edit. Nate goes. He's playing out of his mind right now.
King reminds me of like Vinny and Zextro back from the earlier duo competitions when they would just try to fight anyone they saw. King, 7 eliminations in game 1, now 4 eliminations in game number 2, and there's still 42 players remaining. And there is only one person in the next zone that just popped up, Dr. Lupo. It is as far west as possible. And look at those arrows frantically moving on over as everyone knows prime real estate is available. This is one of the most insane zones I've seen. Look at, no one's in it. No one's in it.
A couple notes about King, one of our players from Argentina. He is the minimum age required in order to play in the Fortnite World Cup. 13-year-old savant.
Wait, King is 13?
He is indeed.
My goodness.
Jack is 11 million times better than both of us combined.
Yeah. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous to think about. Cosmic on the height. Vivid still alive in this game. Artbro still alive in this game. Draken still alive in this game. What does King use here? Looks like Will again place the launch pad, and what you saw right there, a ramp placed backwards to bounce off of it so he doesn't go all the way up. It's basically a sitting duck up in the air. Kind of flows quite quickly towards the opposing player. King, $3 million as a 13-year-old. I mean, I think I would have bought like a Razor scooter when I was that age. Probably. And enough ice cream to, well, don't really know where I was going with that one, but to be honest, there's going to be a lot of ice cream.
Surprised that Food's the top of the tier to push through the air. King getting aggressive into the next safe zone. Here we go. Going to have to hold a wall for just a moment. Little drop down. I like this repositioning. He doesn't want to remain in the same elevation. He's got multiple floors now in case he needs to take a drop there. Yarkos gets beamed from the side. Limited by Scalers. Arkham in the feed, pick it up, and Elim on Bella EU. Dubs, Bucky, multiple players still in this game on your screen. Clicks taking out Cease in the feed.
29 players left is the big thing to note. 4
away.
more from placement points, which if you make it to top 25, instantly 3 points earned. That is on the mind of every player still remaining, and the zone's still moving west now.
Quick swap there, picks the shotty back up. Interesting little play on the fly there from Zell. Trying to do just enough damage to the wall. Here we go. Shockwave. So optimal placement. Maybe a limited time to disrupt the Shockwave into a Shadow Bomb. 9,000 IQ.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Get all the way across the map and take as high on the mountain as possible. Very excellent play there for positioning the King, the star of the show thus far for game 2. 5 eliminations. We are in the top 25 for placement now, so those points go out. And that's got to push King even higher on the board.
Yeah, King was already surging towards the top of our leaderboards. Now could very well be after this game. King spraying on through with the submachine gun. Players moving as fast as they can over this mountain. The left side of your screen, now the full screen. Emku still moving through. Look at how fast he can tunnel. Benji Fishy still alive in this game, just took down Drakens. Down the hill we go. Rogue Shark on height right now, but we'll need to waterfall down for a moment. Vivid still baller on up. King down to just 40, 30, 20, 15 HP. Under 10. No, still 17 HP. Will only be at 42 effective health. I mean, if he gets any further than this, it'll be an absolute miracle. And no, down goes King, but I think one of the crowd favorites beginning to emerge today. Fantastic performance at this point. Benji Fishy goes down as well.
A little bit of a crowd building up behind him. Dubs still in a baller at the bottom.
Top 15.
Star sitting on 2 eliminations in this. The entire field is the bottom of your screen on the left with Rogue Shark at the top 4. Into the drop. Let's get away. Looks like a Shadow Bomb to save. Fall damage. Vivid beamed on the rotation up to the ultimate high ground.
Vivid's on height.
Still there too.
Vivid's on height.
It's an opportunity here. It can capitalize and take shots on all these players rotating. At this point, Vivid's best bet is to force players out of ballers into fights. You don't want to let them remain inside and safe. If you pop them out, it may be an exposed position. Other players will take shots, and that's going to get you to a better place.
Look at the ballers. The ballers beginning to scale the mountain. Vivid, I think, still has high ground. Has time to pop a mini by chance? Nope, nothing as of yet. Now the fight for height begins. Vivid building out of Arthur in your elimination feed, now into our top 10. Issa, the controller god as many regard him as, takes down Sam. Another one onto batch 2. So Issa from Europe getting involved in this game as well. Vivid and Rogue Shark all the way on high ground. Still multiple ballers in play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. This is game 2 of 6, and oh no! Vivid has lost the high ground, but he says no! This is mine, young man! And takes it right back. No mats! No mats! No life! Vivid is out of this game. But he got the limb. He got the limb on a Rogue Shark.
It's 2 eliminations sitting in the middle of the field right now. 7 players remaining. The end of game 2 right before your eyes, folks. 120 total HP. He can't spend any time out of the zone right now. Player goes back inside the box. Can't quite get in. One right behind outside. Can't find a beat. Issa goes down, placed in 4th. A 1v1. Dubs, the ultimate high ground. The crowd cheering behind him, looking to see if he can capitalize on this advantageous position.
Down low, it's Dubs versus Skype.
A little bit of a build-off between the 2, layering defensively against each other, but Dubs,
no builds.
One build. The flint knock to save him on the drop might be the play just outside ahead of the build. Maybe can catch himself.
Oh my gosh, is he
around. Storm. This might be it. Shockwave into the flint knock, into the safe zone. Doubling back, another one. Valiant effort. He's got to find a lead, but he won't be able to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 goes to Skype.
Skype had 27 health left.
forward and going for the box fight. In the second zone, the zone's about to start coming in. We have no fear, the aggressiveness of the player. And the double edit makes him fall right back into his own box that he had a floor on already, gets the cone on top. That's Leleo, another player from South America. But he continues to take out big names, and here is Tfue. He tags him a little bit, but then pulls out the heavy sniper right as Tfue takes the box. And because of that, that came as a surprise to Tfue that he could bring out the heavy sniper, take the wall right in that instance. Usually he'd be expecting the pickaxe on the wall, but the heavy sniper, speed. Now King continuing to look forward, continue to look towards the zone where players come from. It's Aspect that he takes out. That's 3 eliminations, but he goes on forward and grabs another one with great awareness onto Nate. So unbelievable play from here. King is just racking up elims. Again, no placement points in this game, but he still pushed himself within distance of Bugha. When Bugha went down early there, he took out Clix as well in the box. And he's taken out Aspect, he's taken out Tfue, he's taken out Clix. These are some of the best box fighters in the world. But now, King, he's saying, hey, I'm here at the Fortnite World Cup. I am one of the best box fighters in the world as well. So guys, that's King, the story so far. He's climbing the ranks, he's inching ever so closer to Bugha. Gentlemen, back to you.
Great stuff, Balla, and yeah, a fantastic breakdown of how King has made it up to our second place spot so far. We were only a third of the way in today's competition. On the road to crowning a Fortnite World Champion. Awesome games 1 and 2.
I love to see the aggressive gameplay and others. Those kind of plays you don't often see in the Fortnite World Cup or really any competitive play. A lot of players are waiting for those opportunities to maybe get shots on play. That kind of thing, it's been great to see. And obviously a crowd favorite here, as we've heard people erupt every time he pushes into the box. How about you thus far?
Crazy action. It's interesting to see how these different landing people switch up their spots, land in different areas, and sometimes it's come back to bite them. All I know is, though, that's new for us two for right now. We'll be back later today, but now before we have Seek with some more information on the players.
Thank you so much, Richard. What an insane first 2 games here on the first day, or the final day of Solo's competition. Bugha with insane shockwave play to give him the high ground, and then here, Sky, his positioning on point, being the win over Dub. I mean, you guys, and of course, the Marshmello performance. If you guys are here, how have you enjoyed the day so far? What do you think? Some of you are still sleeping. Guys, what do you think? This is it, the final day! There it is. You're awake. I appreciate that. Now, of course, guys, we've been getting through this Fortnite action all weekend long. But don't forget, we actually had creative on Friday. Now, if you were
probably end up like saving most of the money, maybe like some investments.
He's 18, and he just won $336,000. What are you going to do with the prize?
Rent? Rent. Yeah, I think rent. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to save my money.
I am going to be responsible and probably just invest most of it and try and get it.
All right, guys, congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
Once again, massive props to Scissors and the Fish fam. They worked as a unit, and that's what got them the dub in the end. Grandfather of Creative shows up huge here on this stage. Now, of course, guys, we know you want to get back in the game. I want to get back in the games too, but first, let's just make sure they get a little bit of break to the players. We'll hop back in as soon as we can. Now, I did talk about Creative a little bit, but don't forget, we also had that Celebrity Pro-Am. Players lost life all came together to take part on this stage and play for charity. Now, of course, we had Ninja and Marshmello, your 2018 Pro-Am defending champions, that faced off against Icon and RL Graham, your Summer Block Party Pro-Am champions. And the winners in the end were actually Grimes and Airwax. They are two-time Pro-Am champions. So let's actually check in with them and see how they're doing.
I'm here in the player lounge right now, joined by our Pro-Am winners, Carl Grimes and Airwalks. Wasn't totally expecting you'd win 2 in a row. Can you walk me through those final moments?
Felt really good. I don't think I would have won if it ended up winning.
Now, RL Grime, you were holding your own, you were keeping up, you were staying alive, you were getting elimination. How did you change your playstyle from last Pro-Am to this Pro-Am?
I think we learned a lot from the last one, that you focus on late game a little bit, and I just sort of let him lead the way and made it happen.
How did it feel to play with a potential World Cup duo winner?
It's amazing. I'm actually going to come tomorrow and sit in the stands and cheer for my man Airwalks, yeah.
Maybe make an Airwalks sign and wave it in the air?
Maybe a 98 bot sign. I'll hold it up.
Good luck on the event tomorrow. Congratulations on winning. Congratulations on winning. Incredible, incredible gameplay throughout Fortnite World Cup Pro-Am.
Man, Grimes and Airwax coming in clutch. Very happy for those two, but I'm actually happy for this right here. This is one half of your Duos World Champions. This is Nyrox. I need you guys to make some noise right here, right now. Show him that you love him. How does that make you feel? You got all these crowds.
That's great.
There you go. Now, Nyrox, let's chat a little bit, right? Because you played yesterday, like I talked about, in the duo competition. Your partner, Aqua, is actually playing today in the solo competition. So what advice did you give him heading into these games?
I told him earlier this morning that he should stick with the plan we had yesterday. And even if he has a bad start, he can still make a comeback like we did. And he can still take the trophy home.
That's pretty good advice, pretty good advice. Now, you're already a world champion. You've got the title. So how does it feel now that you've got this title, you're here, you get to experience this and watch the solo competition? You know, how are you feeling after all that?
I mean, it feels amazing winning the duo, even though I want to compete in solo as well. But hopefully this gives me confidence in solos, which makes me do better in solos.
Okay. One final question for you. This morning, you know, obviously yesterday was a huge day. You had a night to kind of sleep on it, and then you woke up the next morning. Did it sink in? You know, how did you feel the next morning when you're like, man, I'm a world champion?
It feels surreal. It doesn't really feel like anything because it was so big. It was almost too big to imagine. But yeah, it feels amazing.
Well, again, massive congrats to you. One half of our world champions. Again, give him some love, Fortnite fam. Thank you again, Nyrox. Appreciate your time. Now, there's actually another player we want to talk about real quick, and that is Skite. He just won this second game, so let's see what he's got to say.
I'm Skite from Lustream. I'm French. coming from Paris. I've been preparing the finals by playing customs and playing every day with friends or hard in the beginning because my wrist was broken, so I just wait and then I qualified for the race in the last 2 weeks. I definitely want to thank my team because they support me a lot when I was playing very far. In here we are more aggressive and a little bit slower, so we try to play a little bit safe. I think maybe Zayt is really good. I want to think the play inside them will affect my gameplay because I already did it. I love everyone and I'm just excited to play.
There you go. There you have it. I mean, Sky, this guy is amazing. I'm a big fan. Sky, you know this. I'm a huge fan. Now, guys, there's so many players. There's 100 here that I wish we could spend so much time talking to every single one individually. But let's actually dive in specifically to one, and that's Mr. Vivid. You know, Mr. Clutchman himself. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him there. But don't worry, he's going to bring some more heat. We actually had time to spend with him and his hometown, learn more about him. So let's watch this together.
I live in South Jersey in a small town. Population 1,000. You see a couple of cars pass by your house. It's quiet, so it's nice. Here, I play Fortnite at the highest level.
Vivid picks it up. Gets the elimination.
My name is Noah Wright, also known as Vivid. I am 21 years old. I've been playing competitive Fortnite for over a year now.
Vivid, a familiar name to a lot of fans.
What makes me a successful player is probably all the hours that I put into it. The schedule gets kind of crazy, but I keep myself in good shape. I will do a workout routine, 20 minutes on the exercise, like 15 minutes of stretching, and then back to playing Fortnite.
Look at that! I don't know what's hitting you, bud. What's hitting you then?
Just having fun.
Popping off. Taking that victory right out. That was insane.
I live with my dad. We've always been really close. All he ever wants to do is fish. He takes care of everything around the house. It makes everything really convenient in terms of, you know, playing games and just being able to focus on that.
Our schedules work pretty well. When I get done work, he's usually up gaming, so we do spend a little bit of time talking and going through the day's activities. Noah and I help each other very much, getting through a difficult time.
My mom passed away. She passed away to a cancer called small cell carcinoma. It definitely made me mature a lot. Made me realize like how much my mom actually did for me.
Noah's mom had a very big impact on his life. She set the schedule, make sure the grades were all straight A's, and he could go into gaming.
I credit a lot of my success to her.
Well done, Darren! But he's gonna catch him in the air. Vivid's gonna get a victory royale! What a game from Vivid.
You know, I'm successful in what I love to do. I just want to make her really happy.
Ready?
Fortnite is granting me really
He presented it to me, bringing him up since their mother passed away.
I actually haven't been on the boat yet. So this week I'm going to go on the boat for the first time.
Getting him on the boat and back on the water again. One of my ultimate dreams.
Looks nice.
What do you think Mom would say?
She'd like it.
I love it. Happy. What do you think your first time?
It's nice.
Now you gotta come out more often.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to keep myself together right now. I know how you're feeling, Vivid. I am very close to my own mom, and she means the world. If you guys have a chance here to meet Vivid, he is genuinely one of the most hardworking, kindest people you will ever meet in your entire life. If you can say hello, take time to do it. I promise you will not be disappointed. And of course, Fortnite fam, we got to keep the games coming. Games are about to be underway. The players are back. They are ready to board the battle bus. So for now, we're going to send it back up to none other than Monster D-Face, Golden Boy, House DJ, Mike Realm. Bring the heat.
Folks, we know you're excited to get into some more games, and good news, we got you covered. Welcome everyone, Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Face. Here's we're going to call games 3 and 4 of the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. And man, you couldn't have asked for 2 better games to start things off, Monster. Craziness through and through. Top to bottom, best players in the world, and they're showing up here on the world stage.
I mean, you guys saw the reaction. Bugha with the insane game 1 had us jumping out of our seats, like literally. And man, Sky got the final. I thought we were gonna see a back for the Dubs with the Flint knock, Shockwave to shake up the entire place.
Yeah.
But it was great.
It was very, it was a nail biter. Let's just put it like that. But let's run over the format and how the whole thing works. So, at top 25, players are get 3 points. Then we move on to 15th place. At that point, all the players that are still remaining will get an additional 2 points, making it a total of 5. Then after that, if they get to the top 5, they'll add 2 more points to that, making it a 7-point earned for staying alive all the way until the end. But if you get that victory royale, it's a total of 10 points. So plus 3 coming out of the top 5 there. And each elimination is going to count for 1 point. So look for these players to play for the placement. Some, like King, want to play for those eliminations. And then the Rising, it's all on the line for $3 million for the first place prize. 1.8 million for second, 1.2 million for third, and then 1 million as well, plus for fourth.
Yesterday the duos had to split it. Today it's all goes to you, right? It's just a solo competitor. So, and everyone here's a winner. Celebrate every that's made it this far, who stepped onto the stage, already a winner.
A marathon that they took to get up to this point. Bananas, to say the least. Week's grueling competition, both solos and duos for a lot of our competitors that have not just the competition today, but also yesterday. Now, we're already 2 games in. We had mentioned some of the players that had done very well, right? Your Bugha, who had a monumental game 1, and then you also had Skype, who was able to just outlive everyone else and stay alive. But it is Bugha who still holds first place, but by 2 points, because Argentina's very own King is looking to contend that, and that is crazy. I mean, talking about aggression, this guy embodies. Take the fight. They want to go right at your face. They don't care who you are. Listen, you can have millions of subscribers on YouTube. You can have all the Twitch Prime subs. You can have all the fame and the fortune. But at the end of the day, everyone that's in that game, they're all equal. There is no upper hand depending on how popular you are, and you shouldn't be treated that way either. You should just go out there with everything you got, because that's what it's going to take to walk out of New York City with $3 million in your pocket, which, by the way, you'd have to have a very big pocket for that.
Take a look there. Benji Fishy has been showing up.
I told him to play to the crowd. I said, play to the crowd. Have some fun.
Yeah, good to see him smiling. You know, we were there in the warm-up games. He was a little timid, but Benji, loosen up, buddy. There goes Mr. Savage. And the rest of our competitors, Creo, Kinstar, Vivid, of course. This is a big moment for everyone here.
It must be cool as well. You guys give him a round of applause. He waved to everybody. He waved to everybody. You know, that's not bad. All right, so here we go, folks. It's now time to jump into game number 3 here for the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. The countdown has begun. The players are loaded up in the battle bus. This is it. All on the line. Let's see who will take away another victory royale, or will we see one of our 2 winners get back-to-back wins, get double wins? That will be massive for them. Oh man, I'm excited, Monster.
And so far, Aqua has been the only player to prove that he can win on a stage of this magnitude. But just to give you guys a little context on the bus here, this is a bus coming from the south to the north side. So all of your competitors are going to get, yes, a fair split at the map here, and that's exactly what you like to see. You want everyone to have a fair shot at the map. So let's go and see Scotty. In that last game, just outside of Pleasant Park. He's probably playing for some ballers here in our top 10 over on the left-hand side here, Golden Boy. Booga, King, Commandment, Psalm, one of our competitive veterans doing so great right here. Even with that one window, Sky is still in 6th place.
Yeah, it's wild to think about that that's what it took for him to be able to climb up into the top 10. Only 2 eliminations to his name currently standing. But we're going to keep eyes for the time being here as we head on over to Junk Junction. There's a hot spot there as well.
We have talked to some players about landing the spot.
I actually just got word from production in the back. King has been eliminated off spawn.
Wow, that's huge. That's a real big setback. He's seen players like Zayt and Sap really fall behind yesterday off of one game not going their way.
That is rough, man. That is certainly not going to be pretty for him. But hey, you have 3 more games remaining. You just got to shake that one off. Moving on, though, we're checking out the action at hand here. You're going to have Tuzel pushed right in. Hey, that's going to be an elimination on to Fledimoy's. Well done. Number 1 on the board.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't trust myself with that number, but he gets right up on him and hits him in the chest. Here now with Crew.
That was the shot. Oh, Crew, no chill. Right on the sky platform, too.
That was how King was taking it. Couldn't even land safely. Got no tension right up the sky. That's rough.
Because there's nothing you can do. You're in a glider state. You're just floating down. You're hoping that no one's looking right. players at this point. They're going to go for those shots, those open opportunities. Then you got Tuzi, who just picked up an elimination earlier on. The circle's going to be over in the ice biome, so Polar Peak, Frosty Flights area, and it's also going to be within Pleasant Park as well. So the eastern part of the map, they're going to have to worry about moving on over to the safe zone. Now we're going to be looking at a crowd favorite. Team had the best run so far.
He's been playing the blocks. He's been getting out of the block successfully. It's actually Clipnote who's been landing here from the Brazilian region. Again, known for landing on the webbing and pushing straight into whoever's at the block. And Tfue has successfully defended himself. Even in the warm-up games, T was winning all of the early game engagements. And, you know, shout out to Clip. He actually changed his strategy.
He went for a shot there.
Yeah, but Clipnote stopped pushing though. He's not using the same strategy. He's actually adopted so far. Let's see what Tfue can do in these moments. These shots are perfect range.
Yeah, game one, Clipnote ended up getting everything that he needed in a disengage out of the block, whereas Tfue took a little bit more time to move up, get as much as he possibly can. Clipnote from the Brazilian region here. A possibility that he can take him out, but it's going to be very challenging.
Maybe it was just the difference in loadout. Maybe before he didn't have exactly what he needed. Now we can kind of peek into his loadout here. This is a very strong loadout. He's got everything he needs to stick around and take this battle. And that's why you see him playing with such confidence now. And this could just be his game.
And it was also admirable of him as well. He qualified week 9, last chance. Clarity G made it to the end game in game 2. High ground there for a moment. Thought he could have pulled that one off. Mr. Savage. Clarity G does put the pressure on him. Now Clarity's going to have to deal with a player that's behind and in front of him. So just shadow bombs on out of there. He's going to have another one to use as well in case he needs to pop it. But anyone's going to be paying any attention to him right now.
There's over 6 players landing at Happy Hamlet, but we're jumping right into this battle right here. Unknown Army, who has had the time to prove to the world that he is here to bring the heat. Early on in our competitive days, Unknown Army was known. Take over, Golden.
This is it, man. Unknown Army, one of our first controller players. Actually, he was our first controller player to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup. Perhaps this is going to be the opportunity that he was looking for. Put himself on this stage, get a big opportunity. Things have slowed down here for a moment. He's looking to take that move. He can get it. He can get possession of that. Head it on out. That's Commandment. Commandment's going to be sitting at the top 5 if I'm correct currently. Good fight here between 2 quality players.
Not a battle he wants to lose. There's lots of proof here. Unknown Army, one of the key control players in it. Saw Wolfies have a big day yesterday. That wall's his. He's got the aggro. The last one is not though.
Charging right in. Commandment's going to have to get out of there. Want to deal with that player. He knew the Unknown Army just had that beat on him wisely enough, and look at the health there. That's why Commandment does not want to go for that fight. He's going to be in dire straits right now, as Unknown Army does have the life lead.
Just taking all of these things. Slowly but surely. Nice little peek right there. He goes for the staircase first. So clean.
Doing this all with the controller. You know, we have millions of players that play on controller at home, and he goes in. Does apply 1 damage. One more. That's it. Commandment was in 3rd place. Unknown Army now made him in the place that he wanted him to. Dominant.
And a little taunt to throw some salt on the wound right there. Now hopping to the other side of the map, we have Blaster. He does have a bottle. His main priority right now is metal and more loot.
Let's take a look here. We got Martine. He's got eyes on the target. This guy's one of my personal favorites. Charging forward with that drum gun. Close range, but no! It was low. Boom! Tommy, look out for low boom. Someone to definitely take eye. They eliminate one another though. So boom, not in this one. Maybe finding some better luck in games 4, 5, and 6.
That is the risk you take when you jump into someone's box here in the Fortnite world. Leshy, another controller player, bringing it back to the good old nostalgic Tilted Towers for that close range PvP. He's going to get shot a few times right there, but still keeping his cool. He has plenty of extra shields and mobility. Shockwaves are going to be great for maneuvering around this congested area. That's what it is. 4 players in Neo tilted right now. You have to be careful.
It's a controller battle, actually.
Let's see. Can best one another here. Unless she's break into the building now. Get that high ground to his opponent. Astonis just waiting, making a sound here, seeing if he can bait Leshy into a trap play. Let's see. He's going to fall for it. Will he make a mistake? And that's really what it is, right, Goldman?
Yeah, it is. It is. When players are on that stage here in the audience, the crowd, everyone cheering, there's obviously going to be that added pressure. We talked with a few of the players before the game started today. The number one thing that I think everyone brought up to me was just the volume, the sheer presence of where we are. And some of them even went as far as to say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to look up at all. I think I'm just going to focus on the screen. That's what I know. No reason for me to try and go above and beyond anything else, right? Sometimes the moment can take you away.
You can see both points of POVs right here, both points of views.
Yeah.
They're looking to take any walls that they can just to gain control, have a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, this is basically like a Fortnite equivalent of an arm wrestling match right now. Maybe for some of our parents who are joining us here for the first time, haven't watched Fortnite before, they're really just struggling to try and get positioning over the other player. That is the struggle that they're wrestling with here. See, he was wrestling again, worked out well that time.
All right, Lesh this time has decided to commit. He is now down face to face. There's nowhere Astonis can run. He goes into it.
Oh,
lands the 2-shot. And that's the little tactic right there. If there's a ramp in front of the wall, you have to recognize you are in big danger because there's a nifty little trick to get you in that box.
Another one of my favorite players here. You got Legendary, who's going to be in a fight right now. On the side, those the high ground. Oh, man. That is rough. Legendary not having the best games at this point in time.
Pizza's placed 8th on average when he qualified in online opens. On average across every game he goes into. That's very high placement. And now he's picking up points. Unfortunately, like I said here, he's not really connecting the dots today, but it's not over yet. Halfway through.
Get out of there. Whew, that could have been very dangerous, but gets an elimination on Kinstar. A massive elim here for Leshy, who's sitting right now at 2 elims currently in this battle at Neo Tilted.
Representing all the controller players across the world, Leshy, very dangerous. Upset right there.
And just get close range with a player like Leshy. No punish, right? When you have the controller, you have that little bit of the ability to just L-trigger. You're going to have, and I know some people low, whatever, full use of your arm, they have to use your thumb, but when you push in for them, you just don't want to box with them inside of that. It's very rough to deal with.
Maybe Ruck said it best, you know, just the age less than 15, you know, could just be a little fast when you start here.
Yeah, I know when I was 15, I was nowhere near as good as he was. So, and I competed for a very long time. Got through. Was just in this fight here for the moment. Does get ownership of the wall because that player does disengage above him. And he hears that movement all around. You also get an eye on the bottom right of your screen. You can see the mini map where a player's going to be located. The player we're typically on is going to be that white triangle, but that blue triangle, that other player goes right in for the fight, is going to knock down the shield just a little bit there. He's going to have minis to be able to top himself back up.
This is very intense here, Goldman.
Yeah. Yep. Shockwave. Yeah, you don't want to go for that fight. Shockwaves are so important. Players saving them for that late game. In some cases, they'll just use it, disengage. You don't want to take a fight. There's no reason for you to do so. A lot of players playing cautiously, as they should. Oh, he marches forward. That's number 2 for Crew.
You can see the excitement there. Nice little smirking grin on his face. He throws a peace sign to the crowd when he takes that player Lucky right out. This Happy Hamlet area is so dangerous to rotate through. You have players like Mr. Savage. Now we see Left Eye and Kurtz. Left Eye was responsible again for a big upset for the likes of some huge names towards the end game, but Kurtz here with a heavy sniper. Can he open up a base here and follow up with that infantry rifle? If not, still on right here.
Big in the field, which he has done a lot of times, Ninja, why he likes that weapon so much, and I would understand why a lot of our players will go for that as well. When you have the option to, why not? You got that comfortability with it, and you got left out. 2 eliminations currently. Has 2 shockwave nades.
And you know, you got to give some respect to Left Eye, who completely left his previous job 6 months ago to fully focus in on competitive field games. He found himself at the Fortnite World Cup stage. I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a dream story here.
Yeah. In competitive gaming, you take those risks. If you want it so badly, if you want it more than you have to breathe, you just go for that moment. You never know what's going to happen. This could very well be a lot of the people in this arena next year playing on that stage. Courage is saved at the end. Just going along with what he's saying.
All right, but here we have
Tfue.
Tfue playing a classic high ground center map, more or less. He does have a lead for the
movement options for him, which in the last game he had the Shadow Bombs. Didn't really pan out for him because King, very thirsty, went for just all the water he could possibly get out of that one. And I say he certainly was quenched in his thirst. This is, sometimes you're flying and then you just become stagnant. And unfortunate.
Clarity G picks up Tfue. Unfortunately, right there with one wall open from behind him. Not placed down, unfortunately.
That's so difficult. There are times you fly into the sky and then the entire server just looks right at you.
It's all about timing right here, but that's the thing. So now that Link here. Link putting some pressure up above. Remember, Storm Surge in these games, so you have to be hyperactive. You have to be proactive for seeking for damage. But when you commit to battle, you are more than likely going to have to finish that battle. Looking up. He's holding that edit though. He is ready to open it up. I think he's
and they're just telling him, you gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he lands in front of him, and Dubs gets a victory royale on the world stage.
Absolutely incredible for Dubs to connect. Finally hits all of his shots, and nearly a back-to-back performance right there. That is the kind of comeback story you want to see here on the main stage.
Prove to the world that you're the greatest to ever do it. But you got to give credit to Riversand. Second place finish for him there. Had the high ground, had the explodes, but it was Dubs who managed to get the better of Riversand. And look at this unfold right here. Riversand threw the rocket, looking right at Dubs, and Dubs just needed to play defense. Riversand had no more builds to work with, and Dubs recognized he had the high ground. He just needed to go in there for the clothesline, and he nails it with that green pump.
That is the name of the game. You cannot miss your shots when you fully commit. Dubs and Mega sitting side by side. What a better player to have nearby you. Arguably probably his best friend right here in the competition.
Hey, man. That was nuts. What a game from Dubs. And what a journey he's had. 4-time qualified. We know that he is addicted when it comes to solos. Finally getting that win. So second place in game 2. Game 3 gets first place. He has to be feeling very good about that.
That is the kind of performance he was looking for, and it must feel good to finally solidify a victory over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, it's like it's just a load off your shoulders, man. Honestly, because I've been talking to him quite a bit. He's like, I just want to get this win. Now with that, Dubs goes up to third place. At the top, though, Skype, he managed to make it to the end game. Our 3 winners. Game 2 was Skype, and game 3 was Dubs. 19 points, 1 point shy of taking second, and Bugha, way to hold on to that positioning at the top of the mountain.
King is still here too, as is Psalm, as is Commandment. They've all been in the running, but that was a great fight to see the West and the East clash in those final moments.
I love it, man. I love it. Another, we look here at 11th through 20th. Epic Whale, Quexy, and Issa all managed to get up in the standings here, as well as Left Eye and Wakey. Oh, what a game that was. Game 3 did not disappoint, but I did get word that we have Dubs standing by with Jordan Fisher to get his thoughts on that win.
A massive, massive victory royale for Dubs here, a definite crowd favorite. A lot of people really excited to see you play today. 2 games in a row, 1v1 situations. Obviously, you're playing for placement here, and we're seeing this action happen in real time. Your baller maneuverability, you're staying in the baller for so long. Obviously helps you win that right there at the end. Yo, the Rockets are coming down on you hard. What are you thinking in this moment? You're trying to get high ground. What's going on?
Last game, I was just purely playing for placement and trying to hold out on the ball, and it worked.
Obviously, we got that victory. Okay, going into these next matches, you're sitting in a pretty great position right now, if I do say so myself. What are you thinking? What's strategy going into this right now?
I'm just going to keep trying to play consistent, and I should be good.
Golden Boy, Monster D-Face, it's feeling amazing down here. How's it feeling up there?
I think the feeling's mutual, my friend, because these have been excellent games. I love duos, right? You and I talk about all the time, right? We love casting duos, but there's something special about when it's just you, the game, solos, competition, the win, battle royale, man. Dare I say, to quote Dr. Lupo, the ultimate battle royale experience.
There's just no room for error in solos. There's no, buddy there, no battle buddy to come pick you up when you get dropped, when you get sniped for making an error. You cannot make a mistake. And we saw this on earlier today. The Dr. Lupo is not.
He's not old.
Hey, dad fam out there.
He's just a little elderly. That's all it is. As am I. So, what a game that was. And I understand, though, we actually have Cam standing by with a special announcement. Sundown, what's up?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. And while we're here in the midst of the largest Fortnite event in history, you're probably wondering what comes next. Well, as we said before, competitive Fortnite isn't going anywhere. Once Season 9 wraps up and we move into our next season, we'll be debuting the Fortnite Championship Series. This will give players a chance to compete against the best of the best where every single result matters. The leaderboard to track results over the course of the season. Follow your favorite players on their quest to become the first season champion with millions of dollars at stake. Now, this is just a taste of what's to come as we also plan on stepping up our competitive efforts across the board. So, keep your eyes peeled for more news as you on your favorite competitors in the back half of the matches. Golden Boy, Monster, back to you, gentlemen.
I didn't even know that was coming. That was pretty dope. Fortnite Champions.
Can I just say, did you hear that? Every placement matters. Wait, is this something you guys have been wanting or something like that?
Oh, this is awesome stuff there. It's obviously not going to stop, and we're glad that that is the case. But focusing on what's at hand right now, Fortnite World Cup Finals here in New York City. And just a reset here. I'm Golden Boy along with Monster D-Face, and this has been quite the day. 3 games so far did not disappoint. In Game 1, we ended up seeing a huge victory from Bugha, who managed to pull it away in glorious fashion. And then Snipe in game number 2, just outpositioning Dubs. But Dubs got his redemption and picked up a Game 3 win just now. He said with Jordan that he wanted to remain consistent. He's been playing the baller play. There's a lot of strategies that players can implement here in competitive Fortnite.
Yeah, you saw Dubs, game 1, try to get a little bit more aggressive, opting in to take that fight over by the Greasy Lake, and it did not pay off. So he took his lesson, took his little, spanking, I dare say, right there. He said, all right, you know what? I'm just going to stay away from that guy. You got to respect him on that rotation. He switched it up, and now he's finding himself in endgame. Adaptability you have to have as a Fortnite professional.
Yeah, it's necessary. 4-time qualified solo player is Dubs. And what I mean by that, when he qualified the first time for this event right here, he queued up again. Each week the solo competition was available.
Did it again.
And did it again. And then did it again. And then did it again. That's how good he was. Everyone doubted him. No one knew who this kid was. Then he shocked the world. That, my friend, is unbelievable. But the next game is going to start up. Game 4 about to begin. New York City, come on, let me hear you. It's about to start. It's about to kick off. These players need your energy. The battle bots is loaded. Look at everyone in the stands. What about that Marshmello concert earlier today? Incredible stuff, that live performance from him. You love to see it, but this has been a wild day thus far.
The question is, can Bugha, Skype, and Dubs continue to hold their lead? We saw him fall out the running last game and set him back 4 placements.
That's right. I think it's going to be something we have to keep a keen eye on. Why not? He really is, man. Someone on competitive Reddit said, if you have that name and you got a player like you got to live up to it.
That's right.
You got to live up to it. But there's the standings once again to get you all up to speed. Bugha still holding on to his first position. Skype and Dubs right behind him. Dubs behind Skype by 1 point only. And this is the spread of the island thus far. Paradise Palms, players can start to land over there in just a little bit.
Dude, Frosty Flights, what is going on there? I see 7 arrows or so just outside of where Dubs is currently positioned. Dubs, our last match winner, in great fashion. You can see he's playing the Crack Shot house here, where tons of chests spawn.
I'm also noticing over at the block, I saw another player there. I could not get another body by the block. Maybe just engaging out of there. Clarity G on screen, let's be in as well. Some of the first to fall in game 4.
Nice little fun back. 46 of 68 points were scored in the online opens. Dubs, so he definitely knows how to get to endgame. We already know him as one of the most mechanically gifted players, especially with his duo partner Mega. By the way, they're the only teams that are full qualified.
And sitting right next to one another as well, as you saw when Dubs picked up the win. His first person to congratulate him. Mega now. There you go. That's what I want out of Rux. At the start, Arkrum. That is a big elimination. Shaking the hair. Shaking the head.
Feels bad, man. Oh, when friends collide. Ouch.
Yeah, that is a rough one. Then you got Nixon Niddle. Ex-Brazilian player. He was clinical during the qualifier. Always seeing him in the top 10. Each and every week that he played, everyone in the region, Brazil knows how good Nyx is. Experience that for himself. Nyx does have that life lead here. We'll have that shield. Well.
Listen, Nyx is here to show why he's the first qualified solo and duo player from the Brazilian region. There's only a few players who have the title of being fully qualified or double qualified for the competition here. Nyx is one of them.
He's hearing all that movement up above him. Little does have the high ground. He goes for the challenge, and that's Nyx doing it for the region, doing it for Brazil. More cowbell, please.
Nyx versus middle. Nyx comes out on top. He wiggles his finger at the camera and says, no, no, not today. Snobby Shores is his home here.
And the good news is he won't get eliminated right away. I love you, buddy.
Yeah, no instant karma for him.
No instant karma for him.
Look at Moffin. One of our few players representing the Asian region here.
Japan.
Great performance from Sinnoh yesterday, but that Vikings wins. They pulled one out of here in Paradise Palms.
Players here is the winner of this one. 7 builds currently. HP, Little Dire. Twins also going to be in a rough spot too, and won't get an opportunity to be able to pop that big potion there unless he goes for it. Okay, he's making it happen. He's going for the big potion pop, and he does get it. That's going to give him a slight advantage in this fight.
The difference was no hesitation here as Letwike is going back in it, even with the health disadvantage here.
Oh, that shield's going to be gone out of that one, Monster. Let does go up above him, and no! Twins got caught looking, and that's Let. Benefit with that stretch go.
I'll tell you this, so much confidence. Confidence is key when it comes down to these PvP battles. He just went all the way, he was committed, and he was, hell-bent on getting the win there. But Ghost Issa, we haven't seen any matches all weekend long. Good to see Ghost Issa here on the main stage, as he deserves as much love as anyone else. What's he gonna do? How is he gonna represent himself and his fans?
It's a battle, cross-regional battle here between Moffin and Issa. Moffin from Japan, putting this region on the map perhaps. Issa, well-known player in the streets. Been at this for quite a while. Off screen, you just saw King's name in the action feed against Teak. Another shot, actually. Issa getting third party. And sometimes when you're in these fights, you just don't expect when another player, they're gonna hear the gunfire. So they're gonna try and put it, maybe get an advantage on it. And then it's Mega! Mega marches on in and gets the better of Issa. Now he's gonna have to deal with Moffin. Does not have that floor quite yet. Moffin's holding it down. Does he get the hack through? Moffin goes in for the fight, but that's gonna be another one. Number 2 for the Mega Man.
We wanted some Shifty Shafts action, and we got it right there. They are just unfortunately in the warpath of Mega. He lands right outside of this area. Good on him to rotate through here and catch him off guard. Here's a nice little replay from
That was Teak. That was
King
the
taking out Teak.
Yeah, the King elimination on Teak.
All right, Unknown Army. We touched up on him in his past earlier today. At one point, he was actually somewhat shunned out of the competitive discourse for being too aggressive. Little did he know that was the perfect way to find himself here at the World Cup stage, because it was all about pushing players and getting eliminations.
Everyone has their opinion and strong opinions on within the competitive community.
I'll tell you this, he came right back as being everyone's favorite friend all of a sudden.
That's good, that's good. Obviously, it's, this is a competitive game that is still continuing to evolve and grow. Players, trying to learn one another's personalities and stuff. I know we do have a replay, though. One of the other eliminations that's happened is Pika. Look at this, Pika jumping forward, finds one front. That's the third party. This player now having to work at Pika, but that was nasty. Pika made him pay.
Look for a quick two-piece chicken nugget, and Aqua was a part of it. It's so unfortunate. He's struggling so far in his solo competition, but I'm sure it's a reason for him now, being that he had such a huge day yesterday. He doesn't sit here.
I know, Aqua's playing with house money. That's what we like to say. Hey, yesterday, unfortunately for him, not going to be in game 4. Good Jay, his first elimination is on to Zayd. The fight continues against Dracons.
Artillery right here, and Dracon's going to have to back up here. Good Jay is going to get a moment of peace. He's in the lowest level, he doesn't have to break the pass his way through the middle. And trying to look right there. That's his team, respectively, if he can snatch it really quickly. But no, he's more focused on this right now.
And from the Brazilian region, there's this aggression. That's what they do. They'll go after the fights, and they want to get in your face. Air.
Loving
what region you're from.
Absolutely loving the rhythm right now. He's really messing with the cadence of his axes, but he's going to get punished. And now he's the one who's
against one another. Pika gets rid of the trees so that you can get above. You also get a little bit more resources out of this. Perhaps. It's right in front. Oh, man. Played around the corner there. And then Pika, he just had that brief moment to move away. Saw him move ever so slightly down low. Just saw the tip of his head.
intense battle. Pika versus Crew. Crew, a double qualified competitor here. Did play in the duels competition yesterday. Up to 2. He's the one who just goes in. It's not the IGL. See how he can handle himself here. He's playing solos now. He's in the zone. He's got himself in the zone.
They're going to get ticked for 1 into the zone. They're pretty far from it.
He doesn't want to play off that camera angle, but he's going to chuck a brilliant grenade right there. It's going to open up the box.
Now you're inside of the Storm Monster. What do? You're engaging in this fight. You're losing health little by little. What's the play now? Oh no!
Got the med kit, but he couldn't
connect. The play was just to go for it. Pika gets the better, but he's going to continue to kick for health. Does have a launch pad though. Can fly back. He's really far from the safe zone.
I just gotta say, that was Crew's game to win. He managed to turn it around and get that right camera dominant angle back, and he could have had it at that moment, but Pika's prime position over the ramp. He lost sight of him, let his guard down, he got punished for it.
And this is from Pika's perspective and how he got the better of Crew. With the first SMG, the weapon that I happen to favor quite a bit. I like it, although I do like to set myself up for failure sometimes, so I'll pick up the first SMG. It won't really end that well for me, but for these players here, they know how to take advantage of each item in Fortnite. They are so good at really working with what's in front of them. Now the format, as we had mentioned before, we're pretty far from it. Okay, so when you get to 25th place, that's when the placement points start to tick. But each elimination is going to give a crucial point. These have been some low point qualifiers going ahead. We're seeing players get 60, 70, 80 points, even 100 in some instances. Those are the online qualifiers in different formats. format. These are the best players in the world going against one another. The gameplay is going to slow down just a little bit as they all fight for the positioning.
Yeah, this is definitely a time in the game when positions up and the heavy congestion begins, but King doesn't care about that because he's King. He's looking for a fight in arguably the worst zone to fight in. Approaching zone 4 and 5 here.
He's a savage. He's a savage. He does not want anyone else upon that throne. It should only be him, but it's okay. Sometimes you don't have to be that thirsty. You can move away. That player pops that ramp in front of him. Gets out.
And look at this. Look at that. That was so brilliant. He changes his angle there. He says, you know, I'm not going to use this side. I'm going to go around and start collapsing in on you, just losing or pushing that player out in uncomfortable ways.
Oh, I like this. He's going down low.
Master at finding angles here. He's just looking for the best way to break apart his opponent right now, and he's really playing mind games. Now, suddenly, this guy doesn't know what side he's safe on. He's losing all forms of real estate right here.
You know, King, he just constantly wants to be in your face. He's done it in each game that has happened. Where everyone is like that is a trait that you know, for a lot of the players that are up here, they do have it, but in this South American region like this, where there have been obviously not a lot of players coming out of this for this particular tournament, I think King has put this region on the map without a doubt.
He is truly representing here. This King is tracking is phenomenal. He's still looking to here. Now deciding to replenish some materials and fortify all of this area. Sanctioning himself here. This is why he's in the running in the top 10 here. We saw him get taken out earlier before, but this is why he plays the high risk, high reward. If I'm being honest, that's how you take first place. You put it all out there and hope everything goes in your favor, honestly.
Go big or go home. King of fight over on the mountain there. Juicy is next to him as well as Keemstar. And King, he's gone. He's flying over to the next target here.
He just doesn't stop. Into another box fight he goes. And now he's going to reposition here and set up for the prime push.
This is ridiculous.
Look, he's still going.
He does not care, people. King wants to jump into your box. It's his box now. Oh, what a beast.
He's not here to play. Laser's going to go down. King.
Bow down.
We thought Bugha was one of the best box fighters. Hold up, it's time to do some reviews here because King is putting himself on the map here.
All I want, Bala, if you're listening, I just want you to do a VOD review of King, okay?
Get us a VOD review, please.
Hopefully we can just agree on that. Wild stuff, man. Gets the window, boom, right to the face. Right to the kisser.
He's already looking.
What's wild about that fight, too, is a lot of players would have just stayed stationary in that position. Storm was coming in.
They would have been content with being somewhere safe in
He had a target and he just went right for it.
Incredible. Here we have Dubs now. Center zone. Still has a baller. Bucky still in the running here. Leshy also getting right next to Dubs. Also has a baller, so they're probably not going to get into too much of a battle, but who knows?
Maybe they'll be
Storm
baller
Surge
buddies.
is still a thing. Maybe they will be baller buddies.
Maybe. But you're right, though, about the Storm Surge. You really are, because if you're not putting in damage, 0 eliminations for Leshy right now. How many fights has he actually gotten into? Someone's going to be above. There's Dubs. Minigun. That minigun goes right through your builds. Very powerful against structures.
Dubs only with 2 eliminations is actually the match leader, and that's because he's just
damage
pinging other players. Yes, just damage leader. And we just talked about Storm Surge. That's why you want to anything that moves. Because realistically, you don't know when you're going to find yourself in that precarious situation where you have to push someone like pretty much with, you know,
and
without wanting to.
And we were talking about this before we jumped on the cast. I think it was Zayt we were discussing. He's really good at not putting himself in a position, but still to get hurt, but still take shots. Benji Fishy against Storm. First E-Link for him there.
saw that. He put the trap above his head doing the window edit, opens it up and hits him with the pump.
Now we're on his perspective. But as we were mentioning before, sometimes from a safe position, go for the shots. Go for the shots. Maybe you get a few damage perhaps. And he's taking fights outside as well. Golden. 2 eliminations. 53 builds for him. Running with that blue combat shotgun. Great range on that. It's far away though from where the half in, half out circle is going to be. We're at zone 5. This is when things start to get a little crazy. What does King have as an option here? Is he looking for people on the move and then punishing them? Maybe trying to get the community launch pad perhaps if someone throws that down? What is he looking for?
It really wouldn't even surprise me if he's just looking for elimination to recap on materials right now, because he doesn't have enough to full tunnel across here. Knowing his playstyle, he's probably going to want to push here. And there it is. He actually found a launch pad, so his game awareness was at an all-time high here. Take a look here. Tfue, nice little replay right there. One of his first games.
First point, as a matter of fact, against Hurts. What are the chances of that one? Yeah, the launch pad right there. Great neighbors.
Paying attention to what's going on. Make a big comeback for himself.
About that player who had edited out. He didn't have the mark on him. You hate that one when you just get focused on so much. You're out and about trying your best to stay up in this game. Everyone looks at you, and Tfue again. He's doing damage, but he's not getting the elimination. Other people are siphoning those away.
Prisionero was just snatched from the other point that unfortunately does not go his way here. He does have some shadow bombs though, so he will be able to make it to the safe zone. He decides that he's close enough to try and tarp in, but now he becomes the target of the server because he's only building in wood here.
People can go. That will give you an indication of where they are currently. Players build around box metal, perhaps. Metal is strongest structure. In case you're wondering, maybe you're watching for the first time, wondering what's going on here. Your game 3 winner, Dub. 2 eliminations. It still has that baller, but it is a very weak baller. I mean, look at that thing, it is cracked up.
Not only that, he doesn't have health either. He is very, very weak here. He has tons of materials though. He just has to play for placement to continue to hold this lead that he has right now on the competition. King gets taken out by Mongraal, unfortunately, right there, and Bugha is still in the running here as he catches Flexi, and the kill feed is lighting up right now as players are dropping, and we're approaching placement points finally here.
We're getting very close to it, Monster. Once we hit 25th place, everyone's going to start to earn some points. Right at the side of your screen, 3 points for everyone. Still alive, but Dubs, and we mentioned it, that baller was in dire straits. He was not going to be able to survive another rotation, and neither was he with the HP that he had currently. Then the rotations, everyone's starting to move here. They have some shadow bombs. They're going to use those and get to the other side, get to the safe area, build around and protect themselves. As we take a look at the overall.
Because he needed to get that top 25. He did break it through in time. Everyone left in the game has already gotten placement points here, but you want to place the threshold. You want to that's exactly what he's doing with the shadow bomb, hopping around the builds here, trying to keep a low profile. Bizzle still in the running. One of the innovators when it comes down to tarping and pushing out with effective and clean builds.
Just one of the greats of Fortnite altogether. On the side, I was looking at this fight between Ruxin and Riversand. Riversand went for high ground numerous times. Tfue gets eliminated by Mongraal. And then Rux has high ground, as you see on your screen to the left. Then you have Bizzle, still very much in this one. Takamura with 4 eliminations and earning placement as more players begin to fall. We're coming down to the final moments, Monster.
That's right, we are. And we're going to jump into Takamura's POV here because he has 4 eliminations. He doesn't plan on stopping. Neither does Mongraal, because Mongraal catches Benji Fishy as well. Taking a look here. Takamura tarping out. He is going to fall down, and he's going to get shot a few times here. What's he going to do is he's going for the high ground. He sees an opportunity of his to take. Now jumping over with Mongoose in the low ground. Drops another player right here. Is he going to be able to connect in full? Can he convert? He does not.
So many players are landing in front of Mongrel here. Coming down to the wire. Top 9 remaining. One in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets up to the high ground. Maybe using he's jumping on the wall. He won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him. Knocks the structure down. And the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game. But Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5. And that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moments. Top 5 Mongrel.
To fully commit there. Those are the mats that he needs. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it. And that's the trade out with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. 4 players now. Mongrel in the open low ground. Against the player. It's going to be Bugha, the game 1 winner. Will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more villains. But the victory goes to the veteran Sam, who manages to pick up a massive win.
Using the shockwaves in the final moments to snatch the high ground, Sam claims a victory, but it's Mongrel who had a ton of elimination and really was the ruining factor for so many of our top 10 competitors in that round right there.
Mongrel was running a rough shot in the ultimate low ground, but it's Sam, the vet. He has performed in so many competitions at a high level, and it's no surprise here. When Sam gets that high ground, everyone needs to look out. He's so good at that. Mongrel had no builds left. He had no HP to work with. He did the job he needed to do. Top 2. He got 2nd place and a bunch of eliminations. And Shockwave late game again, Monster. Such a great piece of equipment that you can use.
Love that right there. Stands up, flexes, hits us with let's go. He's feeling good. That's a huge accomplishment to take a victory. And sisters, you only have so many opportunities to win a game here. Just to do that alone, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it really magnificent. That's the word that I can think of at those final moments. Game 3 certainly did not disappoint. Oh, that was a wild game. Here are the standings, though. Bugha still holding on to first place.
wanted and needed here to keep him relevant.
Yeah, so many great moments in that game. And while we had a best seat in the house, there were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best VOD reviewers in the game. Balla standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, we have 2 games remaining, and it looks like Sam and Bugha repeating that first game success early on. They're going to move forward at the top of the leaderboard, but for now, we're going to take a look at some of Rux's performances and some of his shots that push him up to fit. So while we roll these clips, Rux, in the end game, first, he set himself up brilliantly in the early game against Arcrum. We've talked about Arcrum a number of times. This duel has been going on every single game here. Rux takes the better of Arcrum and gets the loadout that he needs to push on forward here with the infantry rifle and the combat shotgun and heals to boot. Only 1 mat remaining through this entire time. Doesn't quite get those mats after finding the elimination onto Core Gaming, so he's working through old structures here, other players' structures, and that's when you start going sneaky beaky mode. He stays crouched, make sure that no sound is coming through for that elimination onto Slaya. He had high ground in this position. A nice shot there onto Light. Unbelievable flick shot with the combat shotgun. And then this is when I believe it was somebody else took high ground here. Beautiful retake. It's Stompy. Rux brings himself up into 5th place with that. We'll see if he continues to climb. But for now, we've got 2 more games to go. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Balla. Rux, who is time and time again showing up in the top. You always see his name, whether it be solos or even in duos, along with his teammate Pika. They always have great events, so no shocker there. But this is a wild ride, right? We've been on 10 weeks up until this point. All these players from I love looking at that top 10 as well, because it truly is a great international game that we have.
Yeah, you saw it unfold. Like, who would have thought King would be the man to show up today and be, like, honestly, the energy for the arena here, because he has had some of the wildest moments so far in his journey through this World Cup weekend.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's been a wild ride here, but that's going to do it for myself and Monster D-Face the Boricua boys. There we go, brother. Always a pleasure to cast with you. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Courage and Dr. Lupo take the stage one more time, and then we crown our Fortnite World Champion. We'll see you in just a few.
Hello, Fortnite fam. I am HookieFace _. I am joined here at the front of house with David, and we're going to talk a little bit about how all of these systems work, how we are bringing the Pro-Am, Creative Cup, and the World Cup to you guys this weekend. So David, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me here. What do all of these buttons do behind us? Tell me a little bit about what all of the technical things are here.
So basically this is controlling all of the lighting and all of the video for the entire show. We're posting out all of the videos that you see on all the screens, any camera shots that go up there. And then we're also making sure that all the lights are at the right levels for player faces and everything else.
So it's your job to just make everyone look great, is technically.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that you have some stats about the lights, the LEDs. Give me a little bit of some factoids about how all of this production pulls power and, what goes into all of this.
Absolutely. There's about 1,200 lighting fixtures in the room currently. We have about 18 4K video outputs to go to all the big screens. We're running about 98 million pixels worth of video space, and it's taking about 2,000 amps of power, which is about enough to run about 15 homes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, introduce me to all of these working parts. But there are so many more things that go into all of this. So when you guys are out in the stands watching the World Cup this weekend, you have David to thank for everything.
I'm just going to come back and just focus on literally the entire region.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you can be so consistently good in one of the major regions. The best of the best aren't concerned with barely making it. They want to win every point. They want every point. point. That's why he's first. They're one of the best solo players on the planet.
아시아 서버에서 이제 뉴욕 나이는 17살입니다. 유튜브 하면서 이제 처음에 4연승을 해가지고 초반에 갔다가지고 후반에 맘 놓고 이제 아시아는 스트림 같은 게 없기 때문에 저는 연습을 제대로 별로 못했기 때문에 아마도 일단 운에 맡겨야 될 것 같습니다.
Hi, New York City. Oh, okay, Faxlox. I'll take you out for a good pizza. I know a couple good spots.
이제 한국에는 포트나이트 유저가 별로 없는데 진짜 응원하겠습니다.
TW here to get an opportunity of competitive Fortnite. The final circles in competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and players, all fighting to get the victory royale. Let's introduce one of the most effective techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested final zones. What is tunneling? Also known as snaking or pathing, this is when you
Wing all the way up top, drops him. 100, follow through on the shot, literally reading my mind.
Ah non.
He's a special player. A generational talent. He has qualities that not a lot of young players have. So mature, so dedicated. Very rare to see.
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 김도환이고 플레이어 닉네임은 푸드데이입니다. 나이는 그리고 14살입니다.
He's disciplined.
Jay drops down.
He's focused. 제일 중요한 건 이걸 I'm the T1 Fortnite division. I first met Jay when he was a free agent. He's the youngest player in our team.
저는 프로듀 선수로서 선에는 그에서 팀원들과 함께 연서 생활하고 있습니다. 거리가 가장 많고 저희 팀은 가족 같고 가족보다 뭔가 좀 더 끈끈하고 그런 팀인 것 같습니다.
Team really looks at Jay as the little brother that everybody wants to take care of.
저는 일어나자마자 바로 옆방에 있는 배수실에서 포트를 하고 있다는 거에 대해서 편설이라든지 편집이라든지 그런 부분이 좀 재미있어서이기도 하고 제 목표를 달성할 수 있기 때문에 저는 포트나이트 게임을 시작할 때 이게 목적으로 많이 시작합니다.
He wants to always be creative. Steer the tempo of his opponents.
그래요, 엄마. 잘 지내시죠? 걱정 안 하셔도 돼요. 끝나면은 제가 이거 끝나면 바로 갈게요. 그리고 세계 최고 플레이어가 되고 싶은 이유는 아무래도 부모님인 것 같습니다. 가끔씩 부모님이라는 생각이 가끔씩 들어서 동기부여가 되지 않나